I have bad news, my friends. The Syrian economy appears to be deteriorating. Decades of living next door to Iraq, the rowdy neighbor of the Middle East, has taken its toll on the kingdom of the setting sun. 10 years of civil war, completely unrelated to an outside destabilizing force meddling in the region, have left Syrian wages some of the lowest in the Middle East. Even with all our help, they still can't seem to get the hang of budgeting their money. Now, tragically, it seems the power vacuum has once again been filled with terrorism. With Al-Qaeda crushed, ISIS on the run, and the Taliban nearly defeated, a new menace has risen from the sands of the Sahara: Iranian-backed Shiite militia. United States intelligence agencies have declared, with reasonable confidence, that this insidious group is planning an attack against the homeland on a scale even greater than 9/11. A frightening trail of dots has been connected. You may be wondering, who is this latest threat to my freedom? If they're so dangerous, why haven't I heard about them before? And what are we still doing in the Middle East? Great questions. Here's the current situation. Our troops and private contractors were minding their own business in Iraq, one of several Middle Eastern nations we're currently occupying, when they were the victims of an unprovoked terrorist attack. President Biden immediately launched a campaign of de-escalation. He carpet-bombed a nearby, seemingly unrelated country. It's the same successful strategy that's guided the United States Middle Eastern policy since our declaration of victory back in 2003. The move was applauded by the private defense contractor and weapons manufacturing industries. Board members described the strike as retaliatory, proportionate, and constitutional. President Biden has sent a strong message to the people of the Middle East. There are consequences for attacking the United States. But just who are these Iranian-backed Shiite troublemakers we've heard so little about? These harbingers of death have set up their base of operations in the People's Republic of Syria. The United States has been welcomed with open arms by the Syrian people in our mission to help rid their country of the terrorists who have devastated the Middle East for the past 20 years. A spontaneous parade even broke out in the rubble of what was once the city of Damascus. Nothing like seeing a gaggle of grateful Syrians firing their weapons into the air in a ceremonial display of appreciation. Luckily, our helicopters flying overhead were unharmed. Now for some frequently asked act of war questions. Question number 1. How did our intelligence agencies determine the link between Iran and Syria? The same tried and true method used to determine the link between Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden. Question number 2. Can we show a clear money trail connecting the Iranian government to this shadowy terrorist group? Yes, we can. And no, we won't. Question number 3. Is there any evidence to prove any of this? It's classified. I would direct any further inquiries you have to the Defense Authorization Act. It's a one-size-fits-all essay on imperialism and should put to bed any further legal or moral concerns. But what are the responsibilities of a long-term occupying force to the people of those occupied lands? If they are to be part of our permanent empire, don't they deserve the same opportunities as the rest of us? That's why I'm calling on Congress to include a raise to the Syrian minimum wage in the next stimulus bill, which I'm sure is right around the corner. The Syrian government's failed response to our successful munitions has led to a humanitarian crisis: mass unemployment, out-of-control homelessness, breadlines, and violence in the streets. Can you imagine such a place? The past 2 decades of unexplained carnage in the Middle East have caused a spike in inflation. A loaf of bread now costs an entire wheelbarrow full of Syrian pounds. Based on adjustments for inflation and hazard pay, it looks like the current hourly minimum wage of 0 Syrian pounds is going to have to be readjusted to 33 million Syrian pounds. If this sudden change negatively impacts Syrian small businesses, the United States Congress will immediately convene an emergency session to provide whatever relief is necessary for the Syrian people. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to help raise my minimum wage, gather your dark money and preemptively invade my Patreon page. Link in the description below. I vow not to use your contributions to violate any international laws. Unless provoked. Thank you.